What's up, y'all? It's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video. Sorry, I still have a bit of a cough. So I'm gonna do something a bit different this time. I'm kind of going to talk about kind of like two topics this time. And I know I've never really done it like this before, but we're going to do it this way this time. So, if you celebrate New Year's, Happy New Year's, and all that stuff, right? So, yeah, anyway, so I'm going to talk about 2026, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about groundhogging and dating. And I have covered a little bit about groundhogging already on this channel before. So I guess this can kind of be like a part 2 as well to it, but so anyway, I'm sorry y'all for coughing. I don't mean to. I'm still getting over this cough from having COVID. But
good to see someone respectable
yeah.
Out here.
Anyway,
Looking forward to putting you through the paces. It should be a good race.
So
agreed. I can count on you to be
what
may the best guardian win.
What I want to say first is, if you enjoy the topics that I talk about on this channel, if you enjoy like the games and stuff, like anime and all that, and you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe, like the video, click the bell notification so that you do not miss a video, all that fun stuff, right? And yeah, so let's get into this. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about, like I said, is before I get into the two topics at hand, is I am currently working on some more YouTube content. I clicked the wrong break. And I'm hoping to really see if y'all got kind of guys like this kind of content that I'm going to be doing soon. I'm going to keep it as a surprise of what I'm doing, but it should be ready late January or early February. Give me 1 second. Got dust in my freaking controller. Okay. Anyway, you know, like, I've been seeing a lot of things like people's like, oh, 2026 is going to be better, and we're going to talk about that here momentarily, but first I want to talk about the groundhogging and dating again. So the groundhogging and dating, honestly, now since I last talked about it, this has skyrocketed. Like, it was bad before, but like it has gotten to the point to where it's just kind of really just disgusting in my opinion. Like it's honestly to the point to where you're not gonna be able to escape it. Like it's honestly really bad. Like, and it's just a really bad thing to really have to experience or watch someone go through. But anyway, so for those who may have missed the previous video, because I did not have 200 subscribers when I made that video. As a matter of fact, I had less than 100 when I made that groundhogging video. And so if the people who see this, if you haven't seen the other one, go check it out. But I will refresh everybody's memory on what it is. So groundhogging is basically it means that you are dating people. Now this, I think this honestly goes for women more than men. Now, I've seen quite a lot of men do this too. So I would say that women barely tilt the scale in their direction, so to say. So groundhogging, like I said, is basically where you repeatedly date the same type of person, right? Expecting different results. This could be, honestly, sorry, my sinuses and stuff are really messed up today. This could be really, honestly, it could be a whole slew of things. Like, you know, say you keep dating, say you're a man and you keep dating narcissistic women and expecting, you know, or you're a woman dating narcissistic men, right? Say, you know, you keep doing this, but you're expecting different results. Like, oh, well, this narcissist, it didn't work out, but, you know, maybe this one will, you know, like, no, this is all meaningless. It's pretty much like an endless loop, like in a movie. Like if you've ever seen the movie Happy Death Day, right, to where this woman, she keeps reliving her death over and over and over, right? And it's like, you know, it's kind of like a time loop to where, you know, she has to continue to repeatedly die in certain kind of horrific ways. And, you know, when she dies, she wakes up and then it's back to the same thing, right? Like, a little bit later, she'll die again. And, you know, throughout the whole film, it's just like this whole thing of, like, trying to figure out, like, well, how can I stop it? Or, you know, all this kind of jazz, right? So, it's just, it's really like that, to be honest with you. Like, I think that movie, honestly, is pretty much I mean, it's not about dating, but, like, you know, I think it's a perfect example, like, to use for describing what groundhogging and dating is, honestly, because, like, it's just, it's not fun to, especially if you have someone in your family and you watch them, like, do this all the time, right? You're seeing them just continue to date the same type of negative, toxic person, right? I mean, it can be really, really downhearting to, you know, have to watch, like, your family members, or whoever in your family, or maybe it could be a close friend even, right? You know, to see them go through this, right? So, and believe it or not, more people do this, honestly, than don't. I'm going to tell you that now. More people do this than don't. And the thing is like, some people will even live their entire life, you know, when they date, they're groundhogging. Like, I mean, the whole time. And, like, that is very damaging on the mental health. Like, it's basically like self-destruction, like self-sabotage, like, basically. And, you know, it doesn't get any better because, like, you're chasing, that's the thing, you're chasing the same type of person that you dang well know is going to hurt you, right? So, to be honest with you, you know, that could be, like, say, a man right? Say he's sitting here trying to find a good woman, and every time he gets with a woman, she always cheats on him. So he's continuing to pick the wrong person. He's continuing to pick the same type of woman who's going to screw him over and cheat on him, right? So, you know, this is completely pointless. It's avoidable. It's pointless if you know, because here's the thing. Now, women are really bad about this. Now, what I'm about to say, what they will do is they will have like a friend group, right? And, you know, the guy that really cares about the woman who likes them, that's the guy they will reject. And they will go after the same toxic person over and over and over again. It's constant groundhogging, right? You know, there's men who do the same thing. Like, they will sit here and they may have a girl, like a girl best friend that they would be really good with. And, you know, they sit here and chase all these other toxic women instead of going for this one woman, right? So, you know, and they're expecting different results, you know, when they go after these people. Like, oh, that one was like that before, you know, but like, oh, no, you know, it's like they're thinking, oh, well, it's going to work out this time. Maybe it'll work out this time, you know, and I think a prime example of this is when girls say they want to go after the bad boy type. Like, many women do this. And, you know, what they're essentially doing is they're freaking groundhogging. That's exactly what they're doing. And, you know, it's honestly, there comes a point to where it's like you feel sorry for them, and then it just gets downright embarrassing, right? Like, it comes to a point to where it's like, wow, that's embarrassing. Like, because it's like, you know, it's just an all the time thing. Like, you know, no matter what's going on, you know, they're sitting here groundhogging and stuff, like, and you're just sitting here thinking, you know, why do they continue to go after this type of, why does this woman continue to go after this type of man? Or why does this guy continue to go after this type of woman and expect different results, knowing dang well that surely they know, I guess they don't, since they're expecting different results, but, you know, it's not going to end well. It's going to end the same way or possibly even worse. Like, I mean, you know, there's like the saying, oh, well, you know, she dodged a bullet or he dodged a bullet, like with that person, and it's like, you know, that's honestly true. But like another thing too is like, you know, they will continue to do this groundhogging behavior, like all the time, right? So no matter who they go with, you'll notice they're not much different from the type of last person they dated. Like, a lot of times it'll be maybe even a worse form, a worse version of the person they previously was with. And, you know, like, I mean, I've done this when I was younger. I mean, but here's the thing. Like, some people do it when they're younger, yes. And then it's like, you know, some people like kind of wise up and like, oh yeah, you know, I should step out of my comfort zone, right? So a lot of people don't do this though. They continue to lifelong chase the same type of people. This could be a narcissist, it could be a cheater, whatever kind of toxic behavior you can think of, right? So, but like I said, women are worse at this than men. Now, like I said before, the scale is probably barely tipped in the favor of women for this, because a lot of men do this too. And it's like, you know, it's always baffled me why people do this, because it's like, you know, if you know that you're not going to... If you didn't have results with... Say you dated 2 narcissists, right? And, you know, they all had the same outcome. Okay, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. You should have wised up on the first one. I mean, there shouldn't have really been a second one, right? So, but the thing is like, there's a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and so on, right? And when these people continue to date, what they do is they have that same mind, the same rose-colored glasses, so to say. They don't take off the rose-colored glasses at all. Like, all they do is they keep them on, and then they ignore the red flags, right? They completely ignore that. And, you know, it just baffles me to how people just simply do not care. And, like, I don't understand why they do this, because, you know, a person who is groundhogging, they're never going to find a good, like, meaningful relationship, right? Like, yeah, like, sorry, I had to look at your comment. Yeah, like I said, like, it's never going to end well. Like, never. Like, and, you know, another thing that I'll tell you, too, is, like, a lot of people on dating sites are groundhogging. Like, even people on Facebook dating are groundhogging. Like, everywhere you go. Like, it's literally everywhere, right? And... You sit there and you ask yourself this, like, you know, well, when is this person going to learn? Like, when are they going to wise up and be like, oh, hey, you know, I shouldn't go after these kinds of types of people, right? And it's like, you know, that's the thing, that day never seems to come. And it's weird because, you know, after experience after experience, you know, trauma after trauma, it would seem like you would learn your damn lesson. But it's like these people do not learn their lesson. And they continue to just groundhog for most of their life, if not all of it. And, you know, like, I don't understand, like, honestly, me, if I knew... Like, I've dated a narcissist, right? I've actually dated one. And, you know, I've talked about her on this channel before, and after that, never again did I ever date a narcissist. I knew not to. I wasn't crazy enough to attempt to even try it, because I knew that was not going to work, right? So, why would I continue to chase something and try something just a different person who's the same way, if not possibly worse, right? So why would I continue to do that and have this stupid ass notion that oh, things are going to be different, like there's going to be different results this time? You know, that's like saying, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and date like 3 cheaters, and then, you know, after I get done with that, and if they cheat, after they cheat on me, I'm gonna go date 3 more. Like, the result's the same thing, y'all. It's like literally the same thing. Like, all 6 of them cheated on you. Like, it's mind-boggling that people will actually go through with this. Like, they don't really change their, like, thing. They don't make any adjustments. Like, you know, that's the same thing with, like, saying, oh, well, you know, like all these, like, women saying, oh, well, they gotta have a guy who's got 6 figures, or so on and so forth. Like, you know, they're literally eliminating about 99% of men. Like, and that 1% of man would never have them, right? So it's like, you know, it's very similar to that. Like, it's just ridiculousness. Like,
I'll get you next time.
and another thing too is like, you know, you'll always find yourself complaining about the same issues and different partners. Oh, they cheated on me. Oh, you know, they did this, they did that. Next person. Oh, they did the same thing. You know, it's just like the same thing over and over and over. Same crap, different day kind of thing, right? And it just really boggles my mind how people will sit here and literally do this crap, right? So, yeah, anyway, like, I don't know, it's just really odd that people do this stuff. But another thing, too, is that these partners, not only will the dates consistently share the same physical characteristics, but they will also share the same emotional unavailability. Like, these people will never be emotionally available for you. Like, ever. And, you know, they still continue to chase these people. Like I said, women are bad about this. They are bad about this because the one guy that they love, that they could love, you know, like, say, the one guy that could sit here and, you know, love them, do the best he could for them, they don't want that guy. They don't want him. You know, so it's like they're bringing about their own downfall. It's pretty much kind of like a self-destruction mode in a way, like, well, regardless if you're a man or a woman, right? Because you know, you're sitting here putting yourself through all this stuff, and this is going to cause extreme mental health problems. Like, you're going to be so messed up that it's not even, you're going to probably be so messed up that, like, you may even become, like, thinking you're just not, like, you're just not gonna find any help, right? So it's like, you know, why would you want to put yourself in that situation? Like, honestly, at this point, it would be just better if you just stayed single. Like, or you have two options, like, stay single or change, like, get rid of all the toxic traits that you so-called love and then will complain about, and then just go and, you know, take the good partner that you could get, right? I mean, but, like, it's weird, man, because, like, I'll tell you another thing about dating sites. Like, they're extremely awkward. Like, even when you, like actually manage to get a date, right? It's so awkward because people do not know how to talk to one another anymore. You know, because of social media, the phones, you know, they don't know how to talk to each other anymore. It's crazy. Like, but, you know, I don't see that changing either. Like, you know, that's another thing. People just don't know how to talk to each other anymore. And, you know, that's not good either. But, like, yeah, the whole thing with groundhogging is just, it's getting out of hand. And I'm going to tell you this now. It's going to get much worse in 2026. You mark my words, it's going to get worse. And then it'll be worse in 27. You know, it's just going to keep getting worse, right? And it's like, you know, it's going to become so bad that, like, you know, you can't even really even date after this, because, like, it's going to get so bad, because what will be the point? I mean, what's the point of doing this just to continue to harm yourself like this? Like, you're harming your mental health, right? By sitting here and just dating the same toxic person, regardless if you're a woman or a man, right? Like, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Like, it's a terrible pattern to get locked up in. Like, and that's exactly what it is. It is a pattern. And it is a very dangerous pattern. It is a very like, pattern that you wouldn't want to get involved in, right? So, I mean, it's just, I don't know, y'all. Like, it's weird how people just engage in that type of behavior. Like, I've never really understood why people want to sit here and just groundhog, right? Like, why not sit here and get someone who will actually be good to you? Like, I mean, that seems like the most common, you know, logical reasoning, but nope, they don't. And, you know, these people will constantly ignore these red flags because they never took the rose-colored glasses off. The only time they took them off was when they saw how bad that the last one was. And then as soon as they take them off and leave this person, right back on they go. And it's just, you know, it's like, you know, what the heck, man? Because, I mean, how are you going to get anywhere by doing this? You know, it's a pattern. That's exactly what it is. It's a pattern. And this pattern is not going to go away until you stop groundhogging. Like, I mean, I don't really... I don't understand why even people engage in this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, facts. Yeah, I mean, it's like gluten for punishment. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's pretty much like, you know... Here's the thing, if you go to the bar, you're bound to get a drink. You know, so it's like... I mean, like, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's weird, like, how people will engage in that type of behavior, men and women. Like, it's crazy to me because, you know, like I mentioned before, like, I'm not gonna sit here, if I was single, that is, I wouldn't sit here and date a person that I knew was gonna cheat on me, or a person, you know, because I would be asking them a lot of questions, you know, I'd be finding out a lot of stuff, you know, find out if they're lying about anything, you know, it's like stuff like that, right? And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and just deal with the same crap I've dealt with before. Like, no way in hell am I going to do that. You know, and, oh my gosh, man, I can't get any rings because this guy. Anyway, sorry, but like, yeah, it's just weird. Like, they think if they keep trying the same toxic narcissist person, they will get different results. Like, nope, not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly like I said before. Like, that's what groundhogging is, and it's not necessarily just narcissistic people. Like, it's any kind of toxic behavior. Like, say you get, like, say a woman goes and like, you know, say a woman goes after a bunch of, like, men who are, like, on dope, right? And then she just keeps on dating dope dealers, like, you know, people that's into dope. And it's like, you know, what the hell do you expect to... Damn it. What do you... I'm gonna lose this one now. What do you expect to, like, to take place here? Like, what do you expect to change... You know, by continuing to like date dope dealers, like it's the same thing. You're gonna get hurt. I mean, you know, if not, you know, if not your life taken, because I mean, it really can be a lot of things. Like, it's not just narcissism, or you know, stuff like that, right? Like, oh man, I barely won that by the skin of my teeth. But like, it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy to do this. And, you know, honestly, what I would say to these people is they need to be open. They need to be more open about what they want. Like, and I'm not talking about unrealistic expectations, like, you know, and they need to examine stuff like beliefs. They need to reflect, you know, about past relationships to identify like common things and reoccurring things in the next partner, right? That they had in the so many previous ones that they've already been in groundhogging with, right? You know, and prioritize your needs. Like, I mean, it's just crazy to me, like how people do this. Like, but yeah, anyway, like, it's going to get worse. That's going to get worse in 26, y'all. It's going to continue to get worse. And that's not the only thing getting worse. I was actually watching a video earlier. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on to 26. I'm going to stop talking about groundhogging now. So, if, you know, you hear things, you'll hear things, obviously. So it'd be like, oh, new year, new me, right? I heard a video say this just earlier today, and I was like, you know what? That's so true. Anyway, you know, you'll hear people say, new year, new me, right? And it's like, hang on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. You'll hear people say, new year, new me, and it's like, you know, when? New Year's resolutions are bullshit. They never come true. They never happen. You know, people are always saying, oh, I'm going to do this when the new year starts. Sure, they may do it for a couple of days, couple of weeks, maybe in a month or two, but it stops. It doesn't continue. And, you know, people will sit here and make all this stuff up. Oh, well, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or, oh, I'm going to change this, or, and it never happens. It never really happens. Like, I've never seen this happen in all my years of living. And the guy was talking about this, and he said, no, it's not new year, new me. It's new year, new trauma. Because, you know, in the new year, you'll have new traumas come up, and look, I'm gonna be real with you. That is the freaking truth. Like, you know, people's like, oh, well, it's a new year, so it's gonna get better. No, it's gonna get worse. You know, we're living in a time now to where, you know, if you don't have a certain ideology, then, you know, you're the problem. And this comes down, especially within the United States. I know there's some other countries that's like this too, but like, I'm kind of talking about the U.S. right now, you know, but like, it's either you're Republican or Democrat, and if you even side with the other people, you'll be lucky if you don't end up dead. Like, you know, because these people with the whole politics thing, regardless of whatever side, it's gotten a lot worse. Like, these last 5 years, think about the last 5 years, how bad it's gotten. How many people's lost their lives because of some stupid political thing? Or how many, you know, people who, you know, needed someone to talk to and was completely rejected just because of the simple of their so-called political beliefs, if you're political, right? You know, this is not going to stop. It's going to get much worse. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, hey, you know, it's 2026, you know, it's going to get better. And it's like, no, it's not. It is not going to get better. And it's like, you know, show me one verse in the scriptures that says, oh, by the way, it's going to get better. No, it does not state that. It doesn't get better till God comes back. That's it. So it's like, you know, it's going to continue to get worse. Politics is going to continue to get worse. The dating market's going to continue to get worse. Fake people are going to continue to get worse. So many things that you think of now, social media, phones, all that, it's going to get much worse. Everything that is bad that you know of is going to become much worse. Because think about, like, you know, in the past 5 years, like I said, it's gradually gotten more worse, more tough to deal with, and it's becoming less safer in public, it seems like. And it's like, you know, it seems to me, you know, people's like, oh, well, it's a new year, you know, things are going to be different, it's going to change. And it's like, when? When is it going to change? You tell me, when is it going to change? Because it won't. It's going to continue to get worse. It's not going to stop. It's going to continue to get worse. And I'll tell you another thing. Like, you know, it's gotten to the point now to where, like, especially within the U.S. now, if you have like a simple, you're in a store or something, and something small, right, goes on, somebody's pulling out a gun ready to take your life. I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, look it up on the news. You see it all the time. And it's like, you know, it all boils down to gun violence. But I'm not going to try to get political here, but, like, because I don't care nothing about that crap, but, like, it's just, you know, it's a thing of, it's just a thing to where they want to pretty much just control you, really. Like, and it's like, you know, just be a person, mind your own business, don't get into the political stuff, mind your own business, you don't hurt anyone, obviously, you know, and it leaves it at that. Don't bully no one, none of that stuff, right? So, you know, it really just goes to show how bad that, like, politics has gotten over, like, and I'll tell you when it started. Like, it really started after COVID. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, Happy New Year to you too. And it really started after COVID, but like I said, you know, all these people are like, oh, it's a new year, so, you know, oh, things is going to change, yada yada yada, and it's like, no, it's not going to change. You know what's going to change? Yeah, it's going to get much worse. That's what's going to happen. You know, because nothing is going to get better. And you could call me black pill, you could call me all this stuff or whatever, right? You can call me negative, but it's like, I'm just speaking straight facts here. I'm just being realistic, you know, being realistically driven and just telling you guys, hey, this is what's up. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it, but, like, yeah, that, you know, it's just like I said, it's not new year, new you. It's new year, new trauma. That's exactly what it boils down to, because, you know, so when you get into the new year, is it like, you know, like, are you just not going to run into a bunch of fake people? Are you going to run into, like, real legit individuals who have your best interests at heart, like, just all of a sudden? No, you're not. That's not, if you believe that, then you just are believing and living in fantasy land, because that's not going to happen. Like, no, it's going to get worse. People are becoming more fake. People are becoming more cold. And it's like, you know, these problems aren't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. And they're here to get much worse, too. So, I don't want to hear any nonsense of like, oh, well, new year, new you. It's like, when? Show me one person that's actually a new year and a changed person within that new year. Like, sure, you could say, oh, like, you found God, or, you know, like, or you say you kicked a habit that you didn't really need, and that was bringing you down and stuff. Okay, cool. That's good. That's called a small win. That's what that's called, a small win. So, sure, you'll probably get some a little bit of small wins when you you know, through the year, right? But here's the thing. It's mostly loss. It's mostly loss. And, you know, sure, appreciate your blessings, count your blessings, all that stuff. Yes, I'm all for that. You know, but like, when you continue to live as an individual, whether you're a man or a woman, and you continue to have loss after loss after loss after loss, you know, this affects your mind really bad. It affects your mental health really bad. This even will affect your physical health if it gets bad enough, right? Like, you know, that's like saying, oh, well, new year, new me. I'm not going to be depressed this year because it's a new year and I say there's a new me. And it's like, you know, do you honestly think depression gives a damn about that? Like, do you honestly think it does? Like, do you think anxiety cares about that? Do you think PTSD cares about it? Do you think demons care about that? Like, if you do, then you're delusional, because they don't. It does not care about that. And I mean, I hate to sound like this, but I'm just being real with you all. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, it's a new year, you know, all these happy times are going to come. Like, no, it's not. Like, I mean, I'll tell you another thing that's going to get worse in 26. Inflation. Inflation is going to continue to skyrocket. The prices of things are going to continue to escalate until there's a point to where probably over half the population can't afford shit. That's probably how it's going to go down. And it just really, I don't know, y'all. Like, it's just wild how, you know, people think. They think, oh, everything's going to get better and all this. And it's like, you know, well, I'm still waiting to see that happen. You know, I'm still waiting to see that happen in others' lives as well. Because, not just my own. Like, because it's like, you know, a lot of times it seems like that these people that are saying this are just, they're just blowing smoke out of their butt, right? They're literally just blowing smoke out of their butt. And, you know, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, not only is it not going to get better, but it's like, you know, I had a therapist ask me one time. I'm going to use this for an example. And she said, she goes, if you could imagine your life without depression or anxiety, what would you do first and how would you envision it? I looked this person dead in their eyes. I said, are you stupid? Because, and she's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, that is a very dumb thing to say. That is very dumb. Because, no, I can envision it. If I could envision it, that would be magnificent. But even if I could envision it, that's still not doing me any good. So,
Well run.
she went on to say, she goes, so you don't see your life getting better with depression? You don't see your life getting better with anxiety? I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. I mean, I'm not diagnosed with the highest form of depression for nothing. Like, you know, I've had several people tell me when I was diagnosed with that I cannot be healed from that. Like, unless God worked a miracle. That would be the only way. Right? So, there's no type of medicine that's going to do anything for me. Like, nothing that a doctor can do, nothing that a therapist can do that is going to help me overcome this massive weight of depression on my shoulders. Right? So, you know, the ball is in God's court. Like, the ball is in God's court, seriously. Like, actually, that would be kind of boring. Like, what would be kind of boring, honestly? And it was like, you know, I really looked at this therapist like she was stupid because, like, I mean, obviously she's not stupid, like, but she's saying stupid things, right? And it was just very weird. And, you know, that's kind of like sitting here telling a person, like a dead person, oh, hey, by the way, if you could imagine if you were alive, what would you do? Like, what do you think that would look like? Or, like, you know, asking a person who's alive, well, if you were dead, what do you think that would look like? Like, you know, like, that's kind of really what it's like, honestly. And, you know, it's very stupid to even say some type of crap like that, to be honest. Like, it makes no sense. It makes zero sense to say that. Like, you know, I mean, don't you think, like, me, like, individually or someone else, like, if they sat here and was like, oh, yeah, I could imagine I would do this and that, it's like, you know, what good is that going to do? If they're not getting any help and addressing the problem, and that's the thing, medicine, depression medicine does not address the problem. It's a band-aid. That's all it is. It's a temporary band-aid. And it's not something you should be dependent on. And that's the thing. You can't depend on it because it doesn't work for a lot of people. And even if it does help someone to a degree, like, it's still putting a band-aid on the situation. You know, you could address the problem and, you know, try to work on the problems, and then bam, you know, you can be free of it. I mean, like, it makes no sense, like, to be depression free because you wouldn't have something to work towards, what I think. I mean, I have other things to work towards, but it's like, you know, it's not in the cards for me. Like, you know, and that's the thing for a lot of people. It's not in the cards for them. You know, like, and it's really appalling and ridiculous to me why a therapist would say some nonsense like this. Because, you know, it's like, you know, this is obviously 2025, the last day of 2025, might as well say 26, and it's like, you know, there should be more help than there is. And I'm gonna tell you this now, I had a person, I called a crisis line, and he even admitted, he like, this guy was a good guy, like, he was a good, genuine guy, and I really enjoyed talking to him, but like, he wished he could have done something. Like, he was talking about, like, man, I wish I could do something, you know, but I'm all the way over here, and, you know, all that. Like, honestly, he kind of said the same thing that my best friend said, right? You know, because she's in Japan and I'm in the US, but it was really crazy because he was talking about how you know, there's not enough help. Okay, how there's not enough help, and, like, I mean, there really isn't, right? There really isn't enough help. There should be a lot more help than there is. And, you know, for the people who did get help, hey, I'm completely glad you got help, right? Like, that's really good. But it's like, you know, it seems like people who have it the worst, those are the ones that can't seem to get help. And I don't know, it's really sad. But, like, as far as 2026 goes, no, it's going to get much worse, y'all. It's not going to get any better. Quit believing the lies that you see, that, oh, it's going to get better, all this. No, it's not going to get better. It's not. And, I mean, that's kind of like saying, oh, well, could you imagine what a better year would look like for every human on Earth? Like, I mean, that's my question. Like, could you imagine that? Like, because I sure as heck can't. But, like, But yeah, anyway, like, these people honestly don't understand, you know, when you talk to them a lot of times. And that's the thing, they don't want to understand. That's the thing, people do not want to understand. And that's the whole problem, right? And I don't know, it's crazy how they do that. But anyway, I mean, for the people who need help, I hope they get it, obviously. And
I should use this.
it's sad nobody wants to help people mentally. Yeah, you are special. Sorry, I did not see your comment, Rosa. Yeah, like, a lot of times people don't want to help them mentally. Like, I don't care what kind of walk of life you come from. Like, you know, everybody deserves to have good mental health. And, you know, that I feel like that's a basic human need. Like, to have good mental health, right? Like, that's a basic human need, honestly. Like, that's pretty much like, you know, how you need food and water. Like, you need good mental health. And if you don't have that, then you're going to be completely miserable, right? And it's just... I'm yawning again, sorry. It's just... It's really sad, like you said. It's very sad, and I wish, and that's what that guy said. He wished there was more mental health places all around, right? But there's not, because I'll tell you why. Society looks down upon them, and I'll tell you why they do. They look down upon them because they cannot be the obedient servant and work, and just work themselves all the time. And therefore they view them people as useless, you know, and you know, that couldn't be further from the truth. But like,
A race well run.
I mean, it's just, it's really sad, honestly. Like, it's very sad, but you know, bring back the days when people were loving to one another. You know, what happened to those days? Bring back the times when people cared. What happened to that? You know, there's a song by Nickelback, and I always really felt like this song was kind of for me, even when it came out in the 2000s when I was a teenager, right? And it's a song, it's called If Everyone Cared. And in the song, he says, if everyone cared and everyone loved, you know, he talks about that you know, you'd see a day where nobody died. You know, you'd see all these great things happening, like if everyone cared, right? Like, you know, get all the bad stuff out. Take out racism. Take all that garbage out. Take it all out. Get rid of it. You know, and actually care for one another. And it's like, you know, it would be great. It would honestly really be great. But like, you know, there's people who don't want to do that. And I'm talking about like legit stuff, like legit racism, like not like stuff that like the woke cult is saying, oh, well, everything is this and that. Like, no, I'm talking, there's actually genuinely people that I have actually met, sadly, who dislike some sort of race. And, you know, it's sickening, honestly. Like, but, yeah, you know, like, it's like, you know, well, if everyone cared, you know, he also says if everyone loved and nobody lied. Okay, now think about that. Could you imagine what the world would be like if nobody lied? Don't worry, I'll wait, because you can't even fathom that. You can't even fathom that because you have been around so many toxic people, so many liars, that it's not funny, right? So it's like, you cannot imagine that. But like, no, y'all, 2026 it's on the downfall, and it's fixing to be here. But like, I mean, I know for my friend it's already there, but like, you know, it's already on the path to be bad. Like, you know, I don't see things getting better for a lot of people, and it's like, you know, I really wish it would be better for people, honestly, but I don't really think it will. Yeah, anyway, you just gotta keep trying. I mean, that's all you really can do, and like, really hope that, like, I really wish, this is what I'd say, you know what a good year would look like? Everybody that struggles with mental health could get help. You know, all this bad stuff got taken away, right? That would be a good year, right? But is that gonna happen? No. Of course it won't. But yeah. Anyway, y'all, like, I figured I'd kind of come on here, kind of talk a little bit about groundhogging again, because like I said, I already did a little bit about it before, and I figured I would go ahead and kind of talk a little bit more about it. But like, yeah, I hope I hope your 2026 goes good. I hope it does. But if it doesn't, just remember my words. I think the most important thing is to think. This is what I say. Thank God you're still alive. That's what I would say. Thank God you're still alive. Thank God that you still have your arms, your legs, your voice, your hearing, your smell, you know, your eyesight, all that stuff, right? You know, thank God that if you know you have family or you have a spouse, thank God that you know they're alive, stuff like that, you know. And I hope they're all doing well, you know. Yeah, it's just,
all it takes is a little effort.
I really wish it could get better, y'all. I really do. But fire video. Thanks. But yeah, it's just gotta be, you know, you gotta be on guard all the time. It's like, you know, like this guy, it's like, it's almost like you're in constant war mode. Like, you know, you're in constant, on guard constantly, like, it feels like you're just fighting a war 24/7, day after day, year after year, month after month, stuff like that, right? And, you know, it's like it never ends. It never ends. And, you know, sadly, it's not just me and some other people. It's all of us. You know, it's everybody. And, like, you know, you should have more friends. You should have more family members that care about you. Everyone should have a good, loving spouse. You know, I could go on, right? But, like, you know, I'm not going to go on for the sake of the video. I don't want to just span out so long, right? But, like, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. I do hope everybody does have a good New Year's. I do hope if you do commit to something on the New Year, you know, this could be anything. You know, I hope that, you know, hope you reach your goal. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I just got goals now that the new year is going on. And it's like, no, I got the same goals. I'm going to keep doing the same thing, keep doing the same, striving to the same goals. But like, yeah, I hope everything goes good for everybody, like I said, and I am going to listen here, so hope everybody liked the video, and buckle up, y'all. It's a new year, so I wonder what kind of insanity we will see this time. So I'm sure that I will probably have some sort of type of video content on something. Probably some new dating thing that comes out, right? You know, or something like that. So, yeah. I will DM you, Rosa. Just saw your comment. Yeah, I hope you all take care. And stay cautious out here, because it's kind of like you're in the lion's den. Everybody's, you know, it's almost like everybody's a wolf just waiting to attack. You know, there still are good people out there, though. You got to find them, but definitely stay away from the toxic, narcissistic types of people. Any kind of toxicity, right? So, anyway, God bless you all, and I will see you all next time. Peace.